Hi, Peggy. Thanks so much for coming today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Peggy,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about your nanny experience. I know you've had 20 years of experience.
Correct.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your last position, and then we'll kind of talk about your longest positions
Okay.
and from there. So can you tell me a little bit about the position that you were last in and how many children and the responsibilities?
Okay. I worked in Bronxville, New York for 6 years,
Okay.
and I watched 3 children. Ages, when I started, was 4, 7, and 11.
Okay.
And when I started, I was in charge of taking the little one to preschool because they needed a driver. That's the reason they hired me. They had a nanny there for 11 years because she didn't drive, so they needed a driver.
Oh, okay.
And so
you did a lot of the driving.
Yeah, a lot of the driving.
And you teamed up with the mom when she was home, correct?
Yeah, and the father too, because when the dad was home, then he was, because they had an office to work out of.
Oh, okay.
So, and then when it was bad weather, they were home sometimes.
Okay, so you were used to teaming up with them and just
Yeah.
doing whatever's helpful.
Yeah, and then they would call in if they were at the office to call in, if last minute stuff, can you get it ready before the kids get, like I would run the errands before the kids came home from school.
Okay.
And then they had a little dog, Casey, so I took care of him.
Okay.
And would take him out for an hour walk when they were in school. And
so you chipped in with everything around
yeah,
the household?
anything they needed, and did the laundry.
Okay.
The kids' laundry, and also theirs too. So.
Did you do the cooking?
I did some. I did cooking once a week because they wanted to be home to. So I would cook like once a week when I first started there. But as time went on, because the kids got so busy and as they got older, there was no time to even make dinner because they were gone at 6. Sometimes I'd be dropping them off at their activities at 6:30, and then their parents would be picking them up when I would be leaving work.
Oh, okay.
So all I had to tell the parents usually at the end of the day was where their children were and what activities they were at. But
Right.
we were pretty much busy from 2:30 when they got out of school, 2:30, 2:45 to 6:30, taking all 3 of them to different activities because they were all like in sports.
And you were busy during the day doing errands.
Yeah, I was busy running errands.
Stuff. Okay.
Yeah, dry cleaning and groceries.
How long was that position?
6 years.
6 years. Okay. Okay, and why did that end?
My boss worked on Wall Street and he got laid off.
Okay.
And that was in August.
Okay.
So that was the only reason they let me go. Plus, the children were already being there 6 years. The 2 older ones were already in the high school.
Right. Right.
And
so there was less to do there.
Yeah, and the last one was in the elementary. She was in 5th grade. So they only needed like a housekeeper really to come in part time.
Okay.
So that's the reason.
I know that you've obviously made nannying your career, and that's why you've been with nannies with families for a long period of time. Can you tell me a little bit about your longest position, which I think you said was 8 years, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Can you tell us about that position?
Yeah, I worked with the Betas in Greenwich for 8 years. I started out. I was a live-in nanny there.
Okay.
And he was 20 months old, so he's almost 2 years old. And I was in charge of taking care of him, the house, and taking him to all his activities. He would start a preschool, so I took him to his preschool, which was in Rye. So we drove from Greenwich to Rye to preschool every day. Mm-hmm. And
so did you do potty training? And all
yeah, I did. I was in charge of the potty training.
Okay. And was this for a stay-at-home mom or
both working?
Both working parents.
Yeah, both professional couple. Yeah.
Okay. That's great. So you did everything with a toddler, basically.
Yeah, anything pertaining to it. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Did you ever take care of babies? I know you've taken care of another family with 3 children that were very close in age, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that position?
Okay, that was the Pearsalls, and with them I've known them even before she had the baby, because I knew their little boy went to school with Betas, so that's how I knew them.
Oh, okay.
And so I used to babysit for them on the weekends, and then later on they needed a full-time nanny, and the kids knew me. So my job ended there is because the Betas had gotten a divorce, and then the husband remarried.
Okay.
So when the husband remarried, the kids were already older anyways, and so they just needed like a babysitter to come in.
So then you went to this family.
Then I went to this family.
With 3 children.
With 3 children.
Okay, and how old were the children?
At the time when I took the position, they were 3 months old, 3 and 5.
Okay, so they're very close in age.
Very close in age.
And how was that for you? I mean, how did you manage three children, very close in age? Like, how were you feeding a baby and also taking care of a toddler?
Well, it was a stay-at-home mom, so we would switch off with the kids all the time too.
Okay, but did you ever have all three of them?
Yeah, sometimes I've had all three of them.
Okay, so tell me what you would do if you were feeding the baby. How would you occupy the 3-year-old?
Well, they had two boys.
Okay.
Two boys. We would be out. They had a huge backyard, so as long as it was nice outside, everyone was outside. We weren't in the house.
Mm-hmm.
TV and stuff. They were little, so they would just get into video games. So the parents would let them have a little time on the video games and a little time, watching TV, but not much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would incorporate like cooking with them, like bacon. So we'd bake cookies and stuff.
Okay.
And have them, make homemade Play-Doh.
Right. Oh, okay. So you kept them very occupied during the day.
Arts and crafts, because that's.
And so when you had the baby, that's when you would give them like a book or the video games or whatever.
Well, not really. If it's nice outside, they would just be outside.
Oh, they would just be playing outside.
Yeah. I mean, it was like bad weather. Of course, it's raining and stuff. They'd probably be indoors. We'd take them to the library.
Okay.
And,
so did you take all 3 children out?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, because usually when I was working for them on the weekends, because I was their weekend sitter for a while.
Right.
On Saturdays, I would be in charge of taking them out because the couple would be gone the whole day. I would get there like at 10 o'clock, and I would stay till 6 or 7 sometimes.
Okay. So you would take them out during the day.
Take them out, and
Okay. Okay.
Or when it snowed outside, it was
Right.
making snowmen outside and hot chocolate.
Great. Okay. Okay. Well, you seem very passionate about children and taking care of them. That's great. And then could you just tell me a little bit about yourself? So, do you have your own children?
No.
Okay. So, but you're married.
I'm married at 18 years. I live in the Bronx.
Okay, you live in the Bronx. And
right on the border of Yonkers, so I'm not that far from anywhere.
Right, you said Greenwich.
Yeah, not far from Greenwich.
The position you had was about 25 minutes.
Yeah, and I worked in Greenwich before I got the job in Bronxville 16 years.
Okay.
So I worked there, and then I went to Bronxville. So.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming today.
Well, you're welcome.